I am a real estate broker here in Grants Pass, and apparently I am the president of this committee, but I thought I was just the chair. I just wanted to welcome all of you and say thank you for being here. And I wanted to let you know, if you didn't know already, that we are going to do a drawing at the end of the Zoom call for a $100 gift card to the spa at Club Northwest. So sorry, Andres and Katie, you guys probably don't qualify, although next time you come to Grants Pass, I'm sure Annette will hook you up big time. So we're going to do that. So stay on the call. I'm going to have a little game at the end too that we're going to play, so you can get some more entries. But I really appreciate you guys being here. I've known Annette now, can you believe it, for almost 7 years, Annette. Isn't that crazy?
You were just a kid.
I was just a little pup. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I used to work at Club Northwest, but, with, Annette and Scott and moved on to other things now, but I've always appreciated my relationship with Annette, and I am excited to see what she has in store for us today. So I will let you introduce yourself and your business partner and get started. So enough of my voice.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Daniel. And Josie, thanks for making Andreas the host on that. Andreas, unmute yourself, my friend. And I want to bring him forward to share with you. Stetson, thank you for inviting me to do this and letting us change it up a little bit. The reason I asked for Andreas to be here is because we're a team. And as you all know, it takes a team to do anything that you want to do. On our own, right? We can have the vision, we can have the dream. We must attract to our life those that were meant to do our work here. And for those of you that don't know me, Club Northwest is our business. The spa was my creation in that business. And after 23 years of that, I just felt like there was more. There was something more in me that I was seeking. And although I was so proud of the successes that we have up there and have to this day, and it's such a beautiful organization, I love the increase that it gives to this community and beyond. And I knew that what I really loved about it was the people part, the mentoring of our staff. We have 169 employees up there. So that was the thing I loved the most, was that belief part of like seeing a vision for something, for a goal in the business, and then getting team to believe in that vision and move towards it created the outcome. And so when I decided to step away from our business, I very quickly was drawn to Bob Proctor of Proctor Gallagher Institute through just divine intervention, truly. Things happen all for a reason, always do. And when you follow your heart and you go with the flow of life, when they present themselves, you find yourself in miraculous places. And that brought me to being, within this last year, one of the top global consultants for performance mentors in the world with Bob Proctor and the Proctor Gallagher Institute. Many of you have probably been to the spa, and one of you is going to win a beautiful gift from that. So that was one of my creations. That was a vision I had, and I had so much fun creating that, and it beyond my expectations. Has gone beyond, and it's now going further with the new person. Megan, bless her heart, has taken that over. I've completely stepped away from our businesses here into my new way to change lives and give increase in doing what I'm going to share with you today. And then mega manifestors. How many of you are a manifestor? Like, I can see it and I can have it. I want you to raise your hand. Are you a mega manifestor? Yes, you are. I know you are, Daniel. Charlotte's a mega manifestor. Oftentimes you call yourself an unconscious competent because it's like somehow you just know. You just know that you know, and then there it is, right? So we're going to talk today about some of those things. And I want to introduce, in order to do what we're here to do, you draw people into your life. Do you all agree with that as business, owners, entrepreneurs? Everyone you need, when you're clear on what you want, and you have a crystal clear picture of that, and a burning desire for it, the world and the universe and the laws that we're all governed by bring everything to you, if you're aware and open to it. So I want to introduce this beautiful soul, Andreas Arango. Pull your picture up on there, Angel. Andreas.
Thank you very much.
There he is. It is Andreas. And
thank you guys so much.
Tell him who you are, my darling.
Absolutely. Well, first of all, thank you so much, guys, for the opportunity for being here. I am super, super excited to share a little bit about what we do and how we do it, and why we do what we do. And so you see on the screen, I'm a top global consultant with Bob Proctor and the Proctor Gallagher Institute. I come from the financial industry. That's what I went to school for. I graduated with a finance degree, and my last job was as an investment portfolio analyst. Coming from a family of entrepreneurs, I'm originally from Colombia, from Medellin, Colombia, and to be quite honest, I was stuck in 2015. You know, I mean, I was not quite enjoying what I was doing. I mean, that's what I went to school for, you know, and not saying that having a job is a bad thing. It's just that I knew it was something more out there for me. So I opened up myself to the opportunity, and Bob Proctor came into my life, understanding that unconsciously, the power of having mentors in my life. I came to my life two mentors in investments that I honestly learned more with them that I learned in school. So following that path, I came across Bob, and 2 months after, I quit my job as an investment portfolio analyst to do what I do. And nowadays, we have a company operating all over the world. I have clients not just here in the United States. I do a lot of work in South America, in Europe, and we're expanding, we're growing. And the reason that I'm saying this is not to impress, is to impress upon what you're capable of doing when you have the right information. And more importantly, we're humans, just like you. We're facing, and I love your picture, and it's so amazing. It's so cool.
Well,
right?
We're showing this one, Andreas, aren't we?
Yeah.
Because, you know, we all have that inner child in us. You guys ever heard that term, inner child, right? Like the child in you, and know that most of our decisions are actually made from that little child, that 8-year-old little boy or little girl. All the things that were impressed upon our beautiful, precious minds when we were young, our behaviors and habits and things that we operate by. It's our mode of operation. And, you know, if I look at this picture, I think I'm around 3. They called me Spaghetti Head. So this little girl was the youngest of 4 daughters. And, you know, my story is a long story. I'm not going to go there. I can tell you that 2 of the people in that story aren't on this planet anymore. My 2 older sisters, due to life events, because of what we were raised in, circumstances we were raised in, and what have you, that they chose to, you know, make different decisions than I did. And it's because for some reason I always just had this deep faith, and I always believed that I always looked for the good in people, no matter what the outside world was showing, no matter, and like right now, we can look at the circumstances around us in our environment, and we can make choices from there, because we do. We choose the thought, we form what we think about it. That's our thing to do. No one can put thoughts in our mind. Thoughts come in, we choose them. So for whatever reason, this little girl chose to look always for the good, see the God in people, to have faith that everyone was doing the best they could. And I always had a desire to help people get to the other side of something. And that's what I do now as an adult. It's what I've done my whole life. But even at a very young age, my grandmother tells the story of on Mission Boulevard down in the Bay Area. I lived in the San Francisco Bay Area. I was 5 years old, and the crossing guard was not at the boulevard that day. And we had crossing guards with little stop signs, and they would help all of us kids cross the boulevard to get up to our school. And it was one afternoon, and the crossing guard wasn't there. I was 5 years old, and my grandmother happened to be at the stoplight, and she sees the back of this little girl with stringy hair holding her hand up to stop the traffic. And it's because the crossing guard didn't come. And my little heart was like, I will help you. I'm going to help you to get to the other side safely. And you know what? That was who I've been my whole life. My whole life, what I've loved most is helping others through our businesses, to have, you know, dreams fulfilled for them, to accomplish huge goals. And now I get to do that for a living with people all over the world. So I love that regardless of what this little angel was raised in, she made choices, because we all get to reframe how we see things, to live the life that we're here to live. And so I love that picture for that reason. Andreas, you got a couple balls in your hand there. This was in Colombia, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And the beautiful thing about, you know, looking back, it's just what it changes our thinking, you know, and especially now in this situation that we all are facing, from the business perspective, from the you know, personal, whatever it is, what makes a difference is our thinking process, and that's exactly what we're going to talk about. I mean, I was like around 3 years old, and one of the stories that I remember is that, you know, I was in a grocery store back then. I was 3 years old with my uncle, and I got lost, literally. And I remember I went from that grocery store to my house by myself at 3 years old, you know, and I even crossed, you know, streets, and that's how powerful we are as individuals, you know, like without even consciously aware we do things, right? And as you grow, you look backwards and you see the growth that you have experienced, you know, and sometimes we tend to underestimate what we have done. So it's not a coincidence that you are here right now, you know, based on my experience is that everything happens by design, you know, and you're here for a reason. You're here for a reason, and now more than ever is an opportunity for you to really go inside and be honest with yourself. You know, like really understand that you are here for a big mission and purpose in life. We have the blessing that we live. You know, we love what we do, and it's our purpose and it's our mission. So can you. And I think it's not just a blessing, it's a responsibility as a human being, right? And that's exactly what we're going to talk about here. So open up your mind and let this information sink, because we're going to go deeper into it. So get comfortable with the uncomfortable. What does it mean, Annette?
Well, you know, anytime there's growth, everybody on here, you know, you've had growth, you know, a goal in front of you that you were going towards, and in anything that you're up to that is big and bigger than you, things will start to get uncomfortable, won't they? Like always. And it's either you're going to retreat when it gets uncomfortable, or you're going to embrace that because you know something so beautiful is at the other end of it. The biggest successes in this life happen when we push through that part right there, when it gets a little uncomfortable. And I've looked back on my life and the times where I experienced that. 97% of us, just so you know, when it gets a little uncomfortable, when we're going towards that goal, and I always have my goal written on a card, and we'll talk about that, hopefully, just having something always you're going towards. It's very powerful to do that. You don't stop when it gets there. You, even if it's a big old wall, you just absolutely embrace it and understand that you brought it to you. You have everything inside of you, as do I, to do whatever it is that's in front of you. If only you believe it, right, you can achieve it. So it's that faith piece to move forward. And I love this phrase, and it definitely stretches you. So
absolutely. And who hears is uncomfortable? Like, you can put it in the chat. You know, if you're feeling uncomfortable with the current situation, maybe who hears is feeling that way? Maybe with the business, maybe with yourselves. Maybe you run a team. Daniel, you run a team of you know, real estate agents. Maybe you feel uncomfortable right now, you know, how you're going to face this current situation, whatever it is. Understand that that's a good sign. That's a good sign, depending on how you want to see it. So what changes is your perception about the situation. Like, the situation is here. Like, you cannot change that. But what you can change, though, is your perception about that. And nothing's good or bad, positive or negative. It just is. We make it what it is. So when you start feeling yourself uncomfortable, understand that that's a good sign. Matter of fact, that's the kind of goals that we work with our clients, like goals that make you uncomfortable, really, because that's where the magic happens. And we're not here to improve 20 or 30 or 40% a year. No, we're talking about a quantum leap. And a quantum leap is an explosive jump. We're talking about 200%, 400% improvement. And actually, quantum leaps jerk you out of your comfort zone. And I'm reading this from a U Square, this book from U Square, from Price Pritchett. It's very powerful. And it says, prepare yourself for a pretty wild ride. You're going to cover some unfamiliar terrain and encounter obstacles you have never faced before. Now I ask you, are you facing obstacles that you have never faced before? Maybe. Well, that's a good sign. I can feel like the safety chain linking you with behavior patterns that worked in the past is being stretched to the limit. At times, you might wonder if the situation is about to spin out of control. So what's the normal reaction? Is to want to hold on tightly. Guess what? You're going to learn to let go. U squares achieve to release, so turn loose if you want to jump. And how many times, we're probably, there's a say, right, that it's sad to see a child afraid of the dark, but it's even sadder to see an adult afraid of the light. So when you're going to somewhere that you maybe never been there, yeah, it's intimidating. It gets you uncomfortable, but that's a good sign. That's what we're looking for. So think about right now how you feel and what you're going to do moving forward, and understand that you don't need to know from A to Z to really grow your business, to improve yourselves exponentially. It's just changing your thinking process, your thinking patterns. You start seeing things today that you didn't see yesterday. That's exactly what we mean by getting yourself comfortable with the uncomfortable. Tina, you want to talk about Tina?
Well, she's one of the clients I work with in my mentoring program that had, we have a video on her, but we don't have time to play it. One of the things I loved about Tina was she worked for corporate, and then she actually was fired from her job. Has anybody ever been fired from a job? And she's a really competent person, and it took her back. She really questioned her worth. And, it was the best thing that could have happened. It always is. Everything is always planned. And for her, shortly after that, she was looking for more transformation. And so she was a client in our mentoring program. And after completion, what I loved about it was not only did she learn a new way of thinking into the results that she wanted, she got her power back. She had tend to allow circumstances and people to take her power away, and that she wouldn't think for herself. She would allow others to impress upon her, and then she'd take that belief and go, where that just didn't give her the results she wanted in her life. And so everything changed in her life. She was divorced, she was fired from her job. I mean, all these things. And when I talked to her at the end, one of the things I love most about Tina was she said everything had changed. And the thing that she said is that she didn't expect, which is one of my deepest desires. I have a prayer that I wrote 5 years ago that I'd be used as an instrument of God in service to Him and helping people overcome fears and to step into their dreams. And that's all being fulfilled. And she said these words, Annette, I knew I would transform in my finances, in my relationships, in my self-worth, all these things. She says, but what I didn't expect was the elevation of my faith through this process. Because what we come to understand is that, we play small. And who are we to play small? We're of the Creator, right? His energy flows to and through us. Whatever your belief system is, energy, universe, God, mind's God. It's like that flows through us. So who are we to play small? We have more gifts and talents than we'll ever use in our lifetime, right? And our gift back to God will be to access those and to use those. And that's what she got. And through that, her faith and her belief that she could do anything that she saw in her mind. And understanding, like Bob Proctor, our mentor, says, if you can see it on the screen of your mind, you can hold it in your hand. Anything you can imagine in the screen of your mind is yours. It's yours. And she got that. So moving mountains, this woman is. So I love working with people. She lives down in Arizona now. So I don't think we have time for the testimony, Andreas. So we'll just flip through.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I have a question for you guys. Who here has a crystal clear goal? Like right now, a crystal clear goal that you want to achieve? Maybe
and
this.
Be a goal like a few months or a year, or right, Andreas? Just like something.
Yeah, like something that you're working towards. Like put a yes on the
Put in the chat. Of course, Bree does. She's finished thinking the results. Good job, Bree.
Cool.
Katie had one.
Yeah, and the reason that I'm asking that is because, for those that don't have goals, don't feel bad. I mean, like if you don't know exactly what you want, 97% of the population around the world, they don't have goals. So think about that. If you don't know what you want, how are you gonna get there? Right? So that's the first thing we gotta do, right? To have a crystal clear goal. So, and for those that have goals, how about if you triple that goal? Like 3x your goal. How does it make you feel? I mean, pretty sure, if that's a good goal, it makes you maybe, you know, excited, and you might probably feel a little bit of, you know, being uncomfortable, right? And that's exactly what we're talking about, right? And one of the things that we need to understand is that goals are not meant for you to get. Maybe you're talking about financial goal, right? I want to multiply my income or my sales or my team, whatever it is. But goals are not meant for you to get. Goals are meant for you to grow. So it's the person you're becoming in the process to achieve that goal. Because, you know, just the result, like more money or the house or whatever it is, it's just a result of you becoming a better version of yourself. So, I mean, it's unavoidable to think that, you know, there's no times of, you know, change, but we are changing all the time. You know, what is happening right now globally is that everybody's consciously aware of the change that we're experiencing. And in my opinion, what is happening is the biggest opportunity in our life to really go after what we want, to really multiply our results in whatever area we want, and to understand who we are, you know, in these times of isolation, you know, for most people, think about the changes that you're going to make. Because in order to grow, we have to change. That's a fact, you know, and people right now, they're not happy with their results, but they're too comfortable with their results. And until things get uncomfortable, people change. The good news is that you don't have to wait to experience an emotional impact to change. Because we understand that change is inevitable. And the personal growth is a choice. So it's actually a choice for you to grow. So imagine if you can find certainty in times of change. And that requires mindset development. That requires you to develop the most powerful asset that you and I have, which is our mind. And when I understood that back in 2015, all I wanted to do is develop it. Because back then I was very knowledgeable when it comes to the stock market, mutual funds, financial instruments, and all the technicality of it. But when it comes about the most amazing asset that you have, I had no knowledge about it. And when you study the most successful people, I don't care who they are, people you respect and admired, that's what they have developed. And that's what they're doing right now. They're investing in themselves, the 1% of the population. And what is happening now is the biggest wealth transfer in the world, believe it or not. What do we have to do? We have to adapt. Meaning that what was working up to today, maybe it's not gonna get you to where you wanna go. Means that we all have to adapt. We'll have to reinvent ourselves. We've been doing this for quite a bit, meaning that most of our operations are global. You know, we run sales teams, and you know, we have people behind the scenes. And Katie, you're here. You have done such a beautiful, beautiful, and amazing work, and that's part of the adaptation process. You know, how you're going to adapt, how you're going to equip your business moving forward. Because many people believe that things are gonna get back to normal. The bad news is that it's not gonna get to the same place. You know, things are going to transform, and that's part of the process as human beings. So it's how you adapt to the change that is going to make the difference in your life, in your business, in everything. And now with technology, oh my God, I mean, it's beautiful, it's amazing what you can do. So maybe you have an idea and you haven't adapted. What are you waiting for? Now is the time. Now is the time to do it. Maybe you are those that, oh, maybe when I get the money or as soon as my kids get back to school, I do that. Now's the time. Now's the time. Okay?
I just want to, I think the next slide is the model becomes obsolete. Is that the, oh, one. So yeah, go back to adaptation for me, just because many of you are Club Northwest members and some of you have been staffed there. So you can imagine the adaptation that had to happen when all this went down. That's a large company. Employs one of the largest employers in the area, as well as massive expense, fixed expense. So we had to certainly go into a mindset of, okay, this model is obsolete now, and we must build a new model. And by the first week of this whole thing, where most people were off whatever, doing whatever in panic, literally the core team were together, because it's a big building, right? 100,000 square feet. We can certainly stay 6 feet apart. They were creating the new model. Within 5 days, we had 1,200 online virtual classes for physical fitness, even for the four-leggeds. And I know, Daniel, you have dogs, like even classes for you with your dogs, like everything, because everyone up there on that core team has gone through Andres and I's mentoring, every one of them. So they know how to think into the result that they want. And so they thought a different way. And instead of going into what was happening that they didn't want, they thought, what do we want? And in that, they began to create. And within 5 days, came right in, this company, this company, this company, contacting Scott, contacting Jesse, and it was everything that we needed. Because the universe gives you everything you need. The law of attraction is real. It's real. And when you're aligned with that, and you're on the same frequency or whatever, however you want to call that, energy of that, it will come to you every time. So what happened in this time for the club was we had to be super creative, had to adapt. And those of you that are members, you're coming back to a whole new club. Virtual classes. We remodeled a ton. Like we've been up there just loving on that club. And I'm super excited for you guys to get back up there. So think about your business and what can you do that perhaps it was like, we looked at it as a gift because we knew there was things we needed to move into, new ways of doing things. Because you get stuck sometimes. Would you all agree? Things are comfortable, it's working, and yet you're not getting those big outcomes you want. And yet you're getting outcomes. It's comfortable. It's easy to stay there. What happens when you're there, though, is it's not very motivating. You're not super excited to do it. And so look at your own business and think, you know, has the model become obsolete? And what are some of the things you could do that would change that model to bring more to your business? That would bring more, you know, increase to your clients, members, and it will make the biggest shift for you when you do that and to adapt to the situation, to embrace it, It's here, so we can either choose to embrace it and to, you know, go with the change and the flow and create in that because you're a creative being, you're of the creator, create in that, or we can choose to put up the wall, that's happening, and then the, you know, that's happening to me, the victim thing, and then we go in a whole nother energy, and that's an outcome you certainly don't want. So you get to choose that. And I know that you're all like-minded people on here with high vibrations and up to big things. So hopefully you're taking your business and you've adapted. If you've added something in your business in this last, you know, few weeks of the situation, will you just type in the chat of one thing that you adapted or you added to the business to create during this time? That'd be fun to see, just one thing. So for us, we added 1,200 online virtual workout classes. That's for Club Northwest. Go ahead and type in the chat. Thanks, Andreas.
That's awesome. That's amazing. And you know, there's a say in my culture, right, that that people believe, because you know everything is a belief, and say, oh no, if it is working, don't change it. Yeah. Don't touch it. You know.
So true.
And yeah. I challenge them. You know, say, well, yeah, it's working. How about if you improve it? You can get
things on here. Watch all these things. You guys are amazing. I got goosebumps right now seeing what you're creating in this. Wow, I love it. Yes, virtual consults. Why not, right? Starting, wow, it's so beautiful. Beautiful. Well done, you guys. And celebrate that. That's a win. I want you to celebrate that and know that where that came from was from your creative side. And as a creative being, you have more. So get back to a pen and paper and just write some wants down on that for your business, for yourself, personally, professionally. And then whatever comes out, know that's in your heart. It's part of who you are. Spirit is always seeking expansion and fuller expression, and you're a spiritual being. You are absolutely full spirit. So create, and never stop creating. When we stop creating, we are stuck. And we've all had that feeling where it's just not fun anymore because we're seeking more. There's more. So do that for yourself. I love it, you guys. Well done. Lots of virtual. Well done. It's the thing to do. We can touch like millions of people, not just hundreds or thousands, millions. I mean, even today, look at this. This is probably the first time, tell me if I'm wrong, where we've had people join our Josephine County, luncheon Zoom with people from on the other side of the United States, the East Coast. Is this a first for y'all? Yeah, cool, right? Get to have increase and make new friends. Andreas speaks at chambers all over.
Mm-hmm,
and I thought, well, that's a fun thing to do, right? Get to connect because it's so big. I mean, the world's big and yet it's so small. Hi from Miami, from Katie as well. Yeah, so good. Good job, you guys. It's fun.
That's amazing. And I love teaching this to, members here in the, I belong to one of the chambers here in South Florida called the Doral Chamber of Commerce. Amazing city. It's growing so rapidly in the last 10 years. I think it's the #1 city in the United States that is growing rapidly in the last year. So it's pretty awesome to share this, mindset and make them understand that, if you want to get the results, the success you're seeking, 95% is the mindset. The only 5% is the technique. So talking about adaptation, Juan is one of my clients from Guatemala. He used to live here. He moved to Florida about a year ago, but he was living in California, and he always wanted to go back to his country after 20, 25 years of living here in the United States. That's what he put on his gold card, and boom, he got it. Now he's living in Guatemala. He purchased a house, a home at on the beach over there, and he's having such a great time. And now he's a financial advisor, so he does financial advising and also trading and investing using technology. So it's pretty awesome. He created his own environment, doing what he loves, and that's exactly what we're here for, right? To make sure that you're doing something that you love, that you're passionate about, and when you find that in your life, and you never have to work again. So envision a new you. Wow. Think about how you can, wow, that's amazing.
Scott just brought me a rose, you guys.
Yeah, I saw
and
that.
It smells so good. It even has raindrops on it. You can
So
sip
cool.
the rose. I love it. I can smell it from here, Margaret says, or Stetson. That's so sweet.
Annette, I've always wondered how Scott got such a beautiful woman like you, and now I know why.
Thank you. He's a beautiful soul, that man. Honey, Danielle just said, I always wondered how Scott got such a beautiful woman. Now he knows why. He's a good guy, isn't he? So sweet. Say hi to him, babe. They're all on here. Say hi. Don't be shy. Here.
Hey, everyone.
Hey, Scott.
Everyone who's anyone. Look at that.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, guys. Have fun.
Thanks, babe.
So cool. So envision a new you. What do you mean by that, Annette?
Well, I mean, there's more. There's always more. And even though you may be proud of your successes thus far, yes, celebrate them and move forward. Because if we stay just in what's happened before, right? We're not having that increase of who we are to be. And there's always more. So to just dream literally of what did you dream of when you were a little boy or a little girl? Before, I was one of those little daydreamers. So, I would be always in the grass, staring at the clouds, seeing the animals and traveling with the wind. And, wherever I wanted to go, my imagination took me there because I needed to escape. I had an interesting childhood. So that was how I found escape, was through my imagination. And so to envision a new you is literally you taking who you are and tapping into your higher faculties that God gave each and every one of us. And one of those, your imagination, your intuition, all these faculties that we can access to live from the inside out and to truly ask yourself, what do I want? What do I want? Not what does my boss want, my wife or husband, my kids, no, what do you want? And that's not often a question we ask ourselves. And that's the very first question that we ask clients. And that when the first time I was asked that, I had a hard time answering that. I had never asked that for 55 years. I'd never asked what I wanted. I always asked what the world wanted of me, because I know we're all here for service, right? And that our compensation, you know, is service rendered. Whatever your bank account says, whatever mine says, understand that's a law. The law of compensation is that it's service rendered. What did you give? And so there's always more for us to give, to be, to do, and to have. And you can create your new world by envisioning that new you, and then putting some practices into place through gratitude and such, and manifesting that. So there's no limits. The only limits, right, Andreas, are what we think. And so you're the one thinking the results, so you can think a different way, a certain way. And we've got some clients on here, Margaret and Stetson too, that had phenomenal outcomes with mentoring with us. So think in a different way.
So powerful. And it might sound silly, you know, for some people that said, yeah, vision and you, I mean, like, you know, this is a new thing. No, that's how the most successful people in the world have created it. I mean, matter of fact, the technology that we're using right now, you know, it was built with the imagination of someone, you know. So when you start using it properly, that's when you start getting results, because you're doing things in a certain way, and that's how you get rich. Confidence is power. I love that. I absolutely love it. And you know, many people ask, okay, how do you prepare yourself, you know, for this situation? And then you mentioned it, absolutely amazing, Annette, that, you know, you work with the mindset first. You know, understand that there's, you know, a situation. It is what it is. We have to accept it, right? And number two, harvest the good, meaning that, you know, everything has good in it. A big problem has the equal seed of a big opportunity. Small problem, small opportunity. So when you're calm, when you're confident, when you understand that we all have superpowers, we really do, you know, and we love them, you know, we love calling them superpowers because they really are. I mean, that's what makes us different from the rest of the creatures on the animal kingdom. So Annette mentioned, you know, the imagination. We have the imagination, the will, the memory, the reason, intuition, and perception. Those are 6 higher faculties that when you start using them to your benefit, you can find that calmness in your mind. For what? Well, to create whatever you want. To really put these ideas into motion, right? Without letting the outside control you. You see? What's the outside world? Well, conditions, circumstance, the environment, the economy, the government, whatever it is. And more than ever, we really have to work from inside out. You may probably heard that before, but how do you work from inside out? Well, by developing your intellectual faculties. That's exactly what we teach people to do. Paris. Tell us about Paris. I think this is such a powerful example, right?
Yeah, this beautiful soul. So you all get that you're here for a purpose, right? Everybody on here knows you're here for a purpose. Like, you were placed here for a purpose. Is everybody clear on that? And it's beyond even what we can probably even imagine right now, because we can only see what our self-image will allow us to see. Okay? We can never outperform our self-image, our self-confidence, never. Our results are all a direct reflection of how we see ourselves. So the only way to change our results is to change how we see ourselves, our self-image. And that's that piece that we get to work with. Paris is a 20-year-old young woman. She works with selling online stores, and she lives in Australia. And I'm very clear that I'm doing my purpose. I feel like everything that I've done is for this moment. It's clear from the results in the last year and my outcomes. So when I wake up, I go into my day each day just asking that my light and my love would reach out the universe, like to anybody that I'm here to know, and that I would be able to give increase to. And that God would just be so gracious to connect me with people that I'm meant to know, to collaborate with beyond, you know, my world here. It's bigger. And I want us all to get that, if nothing else, that your world is so much, you have so much more. And I love seeing all the virtual things that are happening, because we're limiting ourselves when we believe it's just like here. It's like, let's go bigger, let's go out. So I started to do that. And in the morning, it was New Year's Day, I was saying prayer and just asking that my light would attract those seeking more, that I could help, I'm mentoring with the programs that I could help to, achieve big dreams and goals and collaborate with. And this young woman messaged me like 2 hours later from Australia on my Facebook, totally divine, and became a client. And in 3 months of her having this information, her goal was to turn her annual income into her monthly. Okay. And she made in excess of $100,000 a year, was at 20, doing what she did. She's very good at what she does in sales. And in 3 months of applying the mindset pieces and the work and tapping into her higher faculties, doing the goal, manifesting gratitudes, staying in the image of what she wanted and holding that image, she turned her annual income into her monthly at 2.5 in 3 months. So this little angel is now an affiliate for us. She sends clients to me from all over the world, and she's amazing. And she just knows that she knows, and she knows if she sees it, she can manifest it, and you can too. And it's not to impress you, because what Paris did, Daniel, you can do. Josie, you can do. Samantha, you can do. And we have Clutterby on here, Margaret and Stetson. They increased their income 500% by investing in their mindset and thinking a certain way. So these are principles that come from the book. We're going to actually give you the offer for the book to have it for free. We want to share that with you guys, that we have in a program. So there's lots of ways you can access that information. So we're going to give that to you at the end. So Paris is a success story. There's so many. We want to share it because I think her age is important. She's only 20. And so it doesn't matter what age you are. It doesn't matter what your experience is. Your mind is marvelous. And it's just waiting for you to unwrap the gifts and to give the increase to this world that you're here to give.
So amazing. And I remember that reminds me, Annette, when Bob talks about, you can create your own economy.
Yep.
Yes, you can. We have created our own economy. I mean, look, Paris, just who here will love the idea to multiply or turn their annual income into their monthly income? I mean,
raise your hand, everybody.
Raise your hand.
Raise your hand. Everybody on here can do that. And all of you can do that. I want you to understand that. It's a matter of thinking a way into it. That's it.
I mean, it's fascinating. And she multiplied her annual income, to her monthly income ×2. And I love that part. And I always emphasize ×2 because it's like amazing. It's amazing. And the beautiful thing is that she doesn't have something that you don't. I mean, we all the same, and the only difference is that, hey, she has a system, she understands, more awareness, and boom, she got it. Yeah. So it's beautiful, right? It's beautiful what we're capable of doing. So what we have to do is leverage your skill set by creating your own economy. I mean, it's such a beautiful concept. I mean, especially today. With technology, the reason that I'm doing what I'm doing is because my goal was to create an environment for me and for my family to have time freedom, money freedom, and option freedom, that I can work whatever I want in the world using a laptop and a Wi-Fi. That's it. And that's what was in my mind, and everything changed. And today, that's what we do. What happened is because I made a committed decision back then. And everything, today, you look back and you can connect the dots looking backwards. Unfortunately, most people want to connect the dots looking forward. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. It's impossible. So the fact that you don't know how to create your own economy, don't reject the idea. Not even accept it. It just entertain it. Because I'm pretty sure it's a cool concept. And there's people like Paris and Annette, you have multiplier income so many times. I have done it, you know, so it's good.
Scott said last week he was at the bank getting a large loan. You know, we all have to do what we have to do right now with the economy and for our business. And then he came back, and Andreas and I were on a mastermind and had an outcome that was pretty amazing. And Scott says, I like your way of banking way better than mine, because he spent like 3 hours in the bank doing all the things and his stress. And then Andreas and I are just creating our own economy, and things are just coming in and coming in and coming in. And it's like, wow, this is like so much. And Scott's like, I really like your banking a lot better than mine, Annette. I just noticed in this picture, Tina's in this picture, this was at Young Living Corporate for a red carpet event. And it's interesting because I just got this, Andreas, an idea that I had just manifested into a reality. And that was part of that dream is right there. I just got that, Andreas. It's so cool how you look back on a timeline of something. The inspiration came there in Utah. And then, yeah, the idea came out during the COVID, the idea came out, and it's now manifested in 4 weeks, and it'll be it's a $1 billion idea that we just had partners come in. So what, it's not to impress you guys, it's to impress upon you. That's in you too. It's just a matter of you leveraging your skill set. What is it that you're here to do beyond what you're doing today? Because there's always more. And let's not play small of 10, 20, and 30% goal increase. Let's do quantum leaps. Let's do 100%, 500%. We have that on here with Margaret and Stetson. They had a 500% increase. What would that do for your life? What could you do with that? Right? What big dreams are locked inside you that are still waiting to come out? Because even though I manifest things, I'm on to the next dream and the next dream, because there's always more you want to do. And because I want to do a lot and give a lot and be a lot. So. And have the freedom, right? I mean, I think we all got to experience during COVID some freedom, didn't we? Time freedom. Freedom with time with family. Quiet time. You even go, if you did drive, the roads had freedom, you know? There was space. We created space in that. And I felt the whole world, you know, felt Mother Earth give space. It was a healing that has been happening. Andreas is from Colombia, talking about the dolphins, you know, came back.
That's right.
You know, the water cleared in Italy. I mean, the nature, it just got nurtured and refurbished. And so the freedom is waiting for us. And so hopefully during this, you know, global situation, I don't like to call it a crisis, situation or event, you found some freedom in that. And in that, you want to keep that freedom for yourself, whether it's time freedom, maybe it's financial freedom, relationship, you know, did you connect with loved ones that maybe you hadn't before? I know we did. We really did. And we sure cherish, you know, time with people now, don't we? Like a hug. Like you guys that know me know I'm a hugger. Like I miss hugging people. Like there's so much to be grateful for. And there's been a lot of freedom. And to bring that into our life, you know, to be able to work anywhere. Andreas and I, we work from anywhere. I love that. I love that. So
absolutely. Yeah. And you know, that's what we're here for, really. You know, I mean, the true freedom is not just money and time, is to do whatever you want to do. Like, what is it that you want to do? I mean, and it's now time to make decisions, tough decisions, you know, like decisions that will change the course of your life, right? Decisions that, you know, at the moment, probably you don't know how you're going to get there. Maybe scares you and excites you at the same time. Well, those are the decisions that we're talking about here. Like what is it that you want to do? And understand that you're not sacrificing. You don't have to sacrifice. You know, you're leaving something out of a lower nature to get something out of a higher nature, but because you want to. What is it that you want, that you really want to do? Maybe that is, for some reason, something is holding you back to go after. Maybe a new car. You know, someone here that got a new car, pretty amazing car, right? Yeah.
Andreas, and it's really like thinking about all the things you've done to know all of it was on purpose. I look back on all of the decisions that I've made. It's really fun to look back on your decisions. And where did that decision take you? Who did you meet in that decision? What in your life changed? How did you change lives from that decision? Really go back and look at major decisions that you made that gave you freedom in your life. It all starts with that. It is absolutely that, to commit to it and to not, you know it, you feel it when it's right. So everybody here's made a decision when you knew it was right. You just felt it in your gut, right? That's your intuition. That's that gift that you have, one of those higher faculties. And so really listen for that. It's a perfect time to do it because it's a lot quieter now. It's not as noisy. We're not in such a rush. Everything has calmed down. Can you guys feel that? Can you feel that in this world? And we're so blessed in this community that we have such a peaceful, beautiful community. But it's all around the world, it's that. So in that, really get in touch with you. Go for a walk in nature. Go out and get in touch with, God's all around us, in us, to us, through us. Like, get in touch and ask yourself some questions. Hopefully you'll do that after this today. And just know that everything you've done up until now is for a purpose. Every bit of it. Leverage it to the next, to the next, to the next. And don't just sit on, oh, I did that. Great, what's next? Because you're still here. If you're still here, there's more. There's more. And if you're not moving in it, this is when we regress. This is when we get into a different vibration. We get in depression. We start to get sick. How many people do you hear that I'm going to get freedom because I'm going to retire? And they say the word retire. Don't use that word. If you look that word up, do you know what it actually means? Death. And how many people say, I'm going to retire at 65, and then they die within a year from a heart attack or something? They're literally speaking that over their life. Use a different word for that. And even that, why retire at 65? If you love what you're doing and you're on purpose, living your life on purpose, you'd be like Bob Proctor, our mentor, 85, almost 86, still the greatest prosperity teacher in the world, teaches all over the world at 86. And he says, I'm just getting started. That's because he's living on his purpose. If he wasn't, he would not be serving thousands of people around the world to live a better life. So what is yours? And what is that freedom that you're seeking? Because it's also seeking you. What's that big star up there? How many of you love to look at the stars? We're so blessed in Oregon to have so many stars. Well, they're everywhere. We can see more of them. But when you look up there, understand, when you're going to reach for that star and you see it and you get that feeling, that star is also reaching for you. Whatever you're seeking is seeking you. It's how it works.
But you have to make a decision, right?
Yeah, I just realized we have 7 minutes and we want to do Q&A, so we got to wrap up.
Oh yeah, let's go.
Juliana, his beautiful wife, and he loves motorcycles.
So
that's one thing he manifests. You look good in that outfit too. What's going on? You look like a superhero of that. Yeah, that's beautiful.
I love it. Yeah, I love motorcycles. I love extreme sports, and that's what I do on my spare time. Can't wait to go back to the track and ride my motorcycle. So, anyways, what do you have to do? Make a decision, whatever it is. Maybe it's a new job. Maybe your dream job. Maybe you want to start your online e-commerce business. Maybe you want to do, teach something online. It all starts with a committed decision, right? When you make a committed decision, you flip your mind into a higher frequency. And whatever you need, maybe if it is the capital, the resources, the clients, will come to you by the harmonious vibrations of the law of attraction. So take action now, right? It's very important. And we also have, an invitation for you guys. Yeah, a free book and also a free mastermind class.
Yeah, we're gonna, we have a link for this book. If you don't already have Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, this is what our mentor Bob Proctor studied for 60 years. And this is the system that we teach with Thinking into Results, which is a proven system for over 120 years. More millionaires, more billionaires were made from what's in this book. So if you don't already have it, we're gonna gift it to you. Katie's gonna put in the chat a link that you can, I think, Katie, is that how you're going to do it? And then we can send you, it's an ebook. We're going to send you this book. We recommend you start in chapter 7, Decision, and read that for literally minimum 2 weeks, just one chapter for 2 weeks. That's how we study. Because in order to really study something, you've got to impress it upon your mind in a constant spaced repetition. Okay, so Katie's put the link in for you. You can click that. And so we have a free copy of that. And we have a class tomorrow that we want to invite you to. And if you can't do it live with us, we do a mastermind class every Wednesday with people all over the world. And we have so much fun. We studied The Science of Getting Rich, which is this amazing book by Wallace Wattles, as well as paradigm shift material. And we just give value. So we have that class for you guys to join us free tomorrow. You can click that link to register. We'd love to have you join us. Amazing people are on that from all over the globe that are up to big increase and are here for, to leave a big impression upon the world with their service. And they dream big. So you definitely want to join us in that if that feels good to you and you've enjoyed this time with Andreas, and I would love to have you join us there. I also have my Facebook group, which is a closed group. You can be my friend on Facebook, Annette Draper, and I also have Impressions of Increase. It is a closed group where I share a lot of mindset work and just give value and increase. And Andreas has, what's yours, Andreas? Success mindset?
I have so many. Which ones?
Well, quantum mindset. We have
quantum mindset. I have success. I have mind success.
Mind success. So lots of places for you to get more.
Yeah.
More.
And I have an idea. Bring a friend. Bring a colleague. Bring a business partner. Guarantee.
That's a great idea.
This mastermind session is powerful. It's not because we're running it. It's because the energy, in a team, environment, it's more powerful, and amazing ideas and breakthroughs, happen during that hour. So we're more than happy to have you join us.
So powerful. All right, so Q&A. Do you want to open up your mics for, what do we need to do here, Daniel? Because it's only 3 minutes. I know you have to do a drawing. Any questions for Andreas or I?
If people have questions, just go for it. And then I'm going to ask that people try to come back on their cameras if they can, because I'm going to have a little game we can play in addition to this into this drawing that we're going to do. So
I love it. Excellent. Cameras on. And any questions for Andreas?
Question.
Yes.
So out of all of the studying that you guys do and what we've gone through, like, what's the one, if someone wants to do one thing today that would change their life, what would you suggest that they do?
One thing?
Mm-hmm.
For me, I can answer that. For me, it's auto-suggestion. Stetson. Auto-suggestion is one of the principles that Napoleon Hill shares in the book, Think and Grow Rich. And the reason that I go with auto-suggestion is because most people, humanity, the majority of the population around the world, they're auto-suggesting themselves with the wrong idea, meaning that they're letting the global situation control their mindset, and unconsciously they're auto-suggesting that. So what I would do is I would take a look at the auto-suggestion chapter, because that's the agent of communication between that part of the mind that thinks with your subconscious mind, where connects you with infinite intelligence. And read it over and over and over and over again.
It's chapter 4 in the book, Think and Grow Rich. So, and for me, it's gratitude, which is essentially saying the same thing as Andreas, only in a state of gratitude, because gratitude changes everything. And when you do them in a way of, yes, I'm grateful for today, and I'm also grateful for those future memories that I'm claiming is done. Because if I can see them, I can have them. And so this is a very powerful practice. And in fact, if we don't probably have time to go into that today. So if you want to know about that, how can I connect? Annette@clubnw.com. I'm going to type it in. You can also email me and I can send you how I do that. I have a process for that I can share. So if you're interested in my gratitude practice and how I share that with our clients, so powerful. And if you ask Bob Proctor, I mean, he's a major manifestor. And then my mentor is a Hollywood producer. I'm working on a TV show right now that I'm designing with a top Hollywood producer. And Phil Goldfein, he's one of the top manifestors. He says, like, the one thing, like Stetson's asking, and she knows Phil as well, she's working with him, is gratitude, having your gratitude practice. And it's a practice. It's not just saying it, it's a process you do. So it's in the writing of it and all of that. That's my email. If you'd like to email, I'm happy to send you that practice. So
I have an idea. We can share that tomorrow in the master.
Yeah, we'll share it in the masterclass too. Yeah, so hopefully you're going to join that. What else? Any other question? And then we'll hand it over to Daniel to do a drawing. You guys have great energy, by the way. I feel energy and you guys are amazing. Thanks for staying with us. Did you enjoy it? It's probably a little different than what you normally have, right? Probably
Yeah,
usually
quite different, but very powerful as I thought it was going to be. So I really appreciate it, Annette. Is there any other questions before I get started with this? No?
they're like, give me a prize.
All right, so I have in this bucket, I have everyone's name written down on a note card, and we're gonna do the drawing for the $100 gift card. However, if you want a bonus entry, meaning I'll write your name down on the card again and stick it in the bucket again, we're gonna do like a let's make a deal type of situation. So I want you to find, well, I guess the first person that puts on their quarantine mask on screen gets another entry. So if you have a mask, you can put it on, and you don't count, Rebecca. You're on the team. So who's got a mask? Who's going to throw it on? You're on the committee, sorry. Daniel Stallman. All right, he's got his mask right there. We're going to throw Daniel in there one more time. There's Daniel's card. One more time in the bucket. All right, and so the second thing, because Lawton had his daughter on screen just a second ago, that's Isla. Oh, and there's Tara. Hi, Tara. Isla is a huge fan of Dr. Seuss. So anybody that can put a Dr. Seuss book up on the screen, if you have a Dr. Seuss book. Oh, and there's Henry. Any Dr. Seuss books around here will get another entry. Anybody? No? Oh, there's Tara. All right, Tara, I didn't even know you were here, so I'm going to throw you in there because you're not Lawton. So there's Tara LeSueur in there. All right. Tara's got a chance she can win. All right, and so my next item, in the spirit of Club Northwest, there's lots of things that you can find inside the spa, but I'm looking for fingernail polish. Does anybody have fingernail polish right there with them? No, Lawton. Sorry, dude. Not well, Cassidy. I'll give you credit for having it on your fingers. That's good. I like it. So we'll go Cassidy in there one more time. And then last but not least, one of the things that I do in the spirit of gratitude is I like to write handwritten notes. So I have custom note cards in here that I write handwritten notes to people on. And so if you have a note card right there that you can write a handwritten note to somebody and express gratitude, there's Charlotte. I love it, Charlotte. That's great. You win. So another way to express gratitude. So thank you for that, Annette. There's Charlotte right there, okay, as a second entry. And then I'm going to go through and shuffle this up and see if we can pull out a name. No looking, right? I'm just going to reach in there and grab something. And today it is Tara LeSueur. So Tara gets a $100 gift card to the spa. And if you guys don't know, Tara's going to have a baby any second now. So I'm sure she could use a little spa treatment. So that's well deserved. So that's awesome. So Tara, all you have to do is just reach out to Rebecca, and she will make sure that you get your gift card and get it all set up. So that's what I got for the drawing. I just wanted to remind you guys that we are going to have our June social coming up at Club Northwest. I don't have the date in front of me, Josie, so I apologize. However, that social, what we're going to plan on doing is trying to have some leadership training on the ropes course and some teamwork building on the ropes course out there. Of course, if we can abide by social distancing guidelines and do that, we will. And if not, we will put together something else where we can kind of all get together and socialize. So that's all that I have, unless other people want to chime in. No? All right. That should be all. Annette, Andres, thank you so much.
Thank you, Annette. Thank you, Andres.
Yep. Thank you so much for doing this.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Nice having you guys.
Bye,
Thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful day.
I guess.
Bye.
Bye.